Hi, this is Josh Olson. You're watching Trailers from Hell, and it is time now for all the hobos to get off the damn train. It's Lee Marvin, Ernest Borgnine, and Emperor of the North.
1933, the depths of the Great Depression. An army of homeless men roamed the land, stealing rides on the railroads. They were nomads who lived by no law but their own, and dedicated to their destruction was the railroad man who stood between them and the trains.
You probably couldn't make Emperor of the North today, or Emperor of the North Pole, as it's also called, even if studios still made movies like this. I'm not sure who you'd cast today. Its two leads are Lee Marvin and Ernest Borgnine, who are just the manliest of men. Rugged and tough and lived in and unlike any stars working today, or at least any stars under the age of 70. The film was directed by the great Robert Aldrich, one of the masters of manly movies. Veracruz, The Big Knife, Flight of the Phoenix, The Dirty Dozen, The Longest Yard, The Choir Boys, and the all-time greatest Mike Hammer movie, Kiss Me Deadly. Half the reason that film's so great is he's the only director who was willing to acknowledge that he didn't really like the Mickey Spillane books and thought Mike Hammer was a prick. The film had its genesis in Jack London's book, The Road. Walter Newman, the screenwriter who gave us Ace in the Hole and The Man with a Golden Arm, thought there might be an idea for a movie in the book and gave it to his friend, screenwriter Christopher Knopf. Knopf was intrigued by one chapter that dealt with hobos and trains during the Depression and was inspired to dive into hobo lore, which was not a common subject for movies then or now.
I did it. I rode your damn train.
There's only one beau that's got the stuff to try me. You ain't even on the list.
The more he got into it, the more the idea of this story evolved. It's a story of a legendary beau named A Number One who rides the rails. There was a real A Number One in the 1890s who he took the name from. The villain of the film is a train man, a freight conductor whose nickname is Shack, who's also legendary amongst the hobos for his brutality and violence. The toughest train man who ever lived. He's dead set against anyone ever riding his train and is known to have broken many a hobo's head who had the stupidity to try. Lee Marvin, of course, is A Number One.
Do it.
The fast mail going through the junction at 7:10. That's 11 minutes.
I'll be there in 4.
Not at yard speed, you won't.
I won't be going yard speed. I'm going to highball. I'm not giving away another free ride.
A Number One is equally dead set on riding Shack's train, and the movie follows his story as he meets up with a young beau played by Keith Carradine, who wants to learn the ways of the hobo from the master himself.
A Number One deployment on the 19th.
But that's Shack's train.
It's a magnificent, tough film that evokes a time that's long gone. Aldrich does a typically great job directing Knopf's very lean and tight script.
$5. He makes it all the way to Portland.
Okay, I'll handle money.
Tell the telegraph operator to let the boys down the line in on it.
It's interesting to note that Sam Peckinpah was briefly attached to direct the movie. He was going to do it after Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia, but his deal with the studio fell apart, and for the rest of his life, he had a very hard time getting the movies he wanted to do made.
And now the game begins. For A Number One, it's the most dangerous ride of his life. For Shack, it may be the last.
So it ended up going to Aldrich, which is hardly a fall from grace. But look at these guys, though. I mean, who could possibly play these parts today?
To face at breakneck speed in Emperor of the North. Emperor of the North. It's not a place. It's a prize.